more concerned about the urn. My brother was all over the voice. I was a stupid kid. I didn't pay attention to things like that like I do now. But my brother was like, "Didn't you notice the voice?" I'm like, "He doesn't have an urn. It's not really him." I was right, just in a weird way. Like I came to that conclusion in a weird way.
That's funny.
But yeah, that really fucked me up that it didn't fuck me up that he talked normal. That messed everybody else up. But they're not real. I don't know if anybody knows that yet. I hope that's not breaking news for anyone.
I really hope so.
Wrestlers are not real.
Yes, science!
Also, in the world that I think, if you are a wrestler or you are real, give us an email. Eric@ericcongord.com, Gord@ericcongord.com. Yeah. Something else that I'm of the firm belief are either not real or are not of us having capability of contacting any time in the near future is aliens. And you seem to think that I'm missing out on a whole lot of shit going on around me.
You absolutely are. BC is the most underrated hotspot for fucked up shit that happens in that area that is completely unexplained. I can find a fucking excuse for anything to happen, but I've seen shit out there that just, nope, there's no explanation for that.
I'm so cynical on this topic. I have never had any sort of thing I've had to question. I've never seen a thing in the sky that made me blink twice. I've never felt an alien presence. I've never known anyone to actually have anything legitimate to do with them. I'm of the frame of mind that even if they are in the universe, they're not coming here. And I believe that there's nothing that leads me to believe that they could be evolved any further along than we are. So if they are out there, they're just like us, and they're idiots, and they're not in space either.
No way. Really? You think we're the top of the fucking food chain in the entire fucking universe? Come on.
I just think there's no one... I don't mean we're the top of the food chain. I mean, whoever isn't technologically prepared for intergalactic travel yet. They might be better off than us, but they're... If you believe in evolution, it kind of makes sense that we would all... Either they've evolved some other completely other way, and there's some... if the atmosphere is off by a tenth of a degree, they would have developed in some totally different type of creature.
Yeah.
So maybe there is a planet full of people that evolved from, I don't know, goats or lumps of shit or whatever, but they're not traveling here either,
I mean, come on, we've developed technology to leave our planet.
Sure.
And we've done that literally in the last,
70 years.
50 years?
Say 50.
Say 50 years. So
sure.
50 years. In 50 years, we've been able to go from, only the rich fucking being able to fly on an airplane to complete international travel that virtually anybody can afford. And we can leave our own atmosphere. We have a giant space station in the fucking space. We've been to the moon. We're planning on going to Mars. We have rovers on Mars. We have a fucking satellite that's left our solar system.
We are planning on going back to the moon next year.
Yes, they are talking about that.
The Israeli...
I don't really see the point to it, but sure.
The Israelis are sending a team up in 2021, allegedly.
Oh, God. They're probably going to set up a fucking mosque.
Bunch of moon Jews. That's all we need.
Moon mosque.
Bunch of moon Jews. Yeah, we do. We have all that. Now, the space station, it's just in the space, though. It's not like we've got a space station that's a way station at the other side of Pluto. It's like on our roof, basically.
Yeah, but we've done that in 50 years.
Sure.
Take something that's been, that was able to evolve faster. They found a more proficient way of evolving. That their technology has been able to move exponentially faster. They have different types of natural resources on their planet that can give them better forms of speed. They found a way to harness light itself so that they can travel at the speed of light and not faster. if we've been able to figure out what we've been able to figure out so far in 50 years, take something that is, say, 2,000 years more advanced than us.
Yeah, but there's nothing that has the ideal conditions that we've found so far that Earth has to promote evolution. That's why it hasn't happened on any other planets that we know of.
Look how limited we are. First of all, they found planets that are habitable. They found planets that have Earth-like features.
Sure.
They have found them. You know, we can't get to them because we don't have the technology to get to that yet.
And that's what I'm saying. They probably don't either. Even if those planets are inhabited, they don't have the technology to get here. Would be my guess.
No, I firmly believe that there definitely is alien life. Without a shadow of a doubt, there is. There's no way to think that that we are at the pinnacle of what any form of life could ever sort of dream to be for technology. I mean, we've just barely tapped into fucking cell phones, let alone, you know, what anything else is capable of actually doing. I mean, come on, there's no way. We're so far behind because we put restrictions on what we can do, where other places wouldn't put these restrictions.
We also pursued some things that some intelligent races may not. You know, we've gone down.
Like what? More war?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, if we maybe didn't do that, if we had developed nuclear technology into traveling rather than bombing the shit out of Japan, which we devoted a great deal of time and energy to.
Yep.
If we had built rockets that didn't explode, we built them into ones that traveled to space. Maybe we'd be ahead of the game.
Which now imagine if we had done that. Now imagine, say, that would put us ahead another 50 plus years.
If we honored and respected the Elon Musks and Richard Bransons of the world instead of mocking them and trying to sabotage them into quitting what they do, maybe, I don't know.
So now imagine a civilization that does just that. They could be so much farther back. Imagine a civilization not based off of religion.
They could be. They could be, definitely.
That would be so far advanced. Because you gotta remember, it's religion that has kept us so far behind from advancing as it stands.
Oh, they wouldn't even allow... They didn't allow the telescope to be released for like 200 years.
Exactly. So there's 200 years lost.
They kept the telescope a secret because they didn't want people to know of its existence. That's true.
That's right. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And they still do that.
It seems to me like all you're doing is proving my fucking point.
I'm just not being contradictory. I'm saying it's all possible, and I don't think it's happened. But you're right. I am just proving your case for you. So, but I'm good at that.
You are.
But I don't. I've never been given any reason to believe they're real, or that they're here.
Well, see, my very first experience with this was during high school, basically. And what had happened was it actually started from a dream. I had a very strange dream one night, and in my dream, I was in front of my parents' house, which faces Highway 25. I'm looking over in front of the road, and up in above the sky, there's a bunch of us. I didn't know anybody in the group. Everybody's all strangers, but we're all staying from my mom's house, from my parents' house, and the sky is like, it's the fucking sky as it is, and all of a sudden, a triangle of stars, a small triangle of stars appeared in the sky, and they disappeared. Then it reappeared twice as big, and disappeared, and reappeared twice as big. They kept doing this until finally this giant triangle of stars filled the foreseeable sky. And then it disappeared, came back, and then it basically sort of exploded, and then there was like shooting stars everywhere. Sure. Right? And it was a really cool dream. And I was like, wow, that was really awesome. I woke up like, wow, that was really fucked up.
Yeah,
so see, I went to work.
That's what you. Carry on. Finish your story, and then I'll.
When I got into work, I had mentioned it to my aunt, and I'm like, my aunt Liz, and I'm like, no, fucking yeah, I had this really weird dream, and she's like, well, you know that this weekend coming up, there's a meteor shower. Maybe this is something telling you that you need to fucking watch a meteor shower. I'm like, what? I've never heard the term meteor shower at that point.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So, sure enough, first break comes up that day, go out to the coffee truck, grab my breakfast, grab a paper, and I'm sitting down, and right there, first the fucking article, and I flip open the paper, meteor shower this weekend. Holy shit, everything's telling me I need to do this. So, I fucking made a whole bunch of phone calls the next couple of days. So I organized a whole bunch of people, there's about 30 of us. We went to this little quarry, grabbed a bunch of skids of wood, a bunch of bar salts, so we could light up a fucking campfire, brought a bunch of booze, and we set up a little fucking party there. Now, this is where things are weird. So none of us knew what to expect. Nobody in this group had ever experienced a meteor shower. We didn't know what they looked like. We didn't know what to look for. We had no idea. And as we're standing there, all of a sudden, somebody says, "Hey, what are those lights over there?" And we have it's our version of a mountain. It's very tiny. It's disgustingly pathetic in the states of comparing to BC. But so we got this big fucking hill, and over the corner you can see these little flashing lights. And I thought, oh, maybe that's what meteors are. Maybe your meteors just sort of come in, they just sort of flash, and that's it. So as we're watching these flashing lights, we started noticing that there's 3 flashing lights specifically. They're just sort of like in random spots, but they were moving away from the ground. So we're all watching this, going like, oh, that's just fucking weird. So we're watching these lights, and then as they come up into the sky, they get into this perfect line, and it's flashing from left to right, blink, 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 right? So we're watching this, and everybody's like everyone it's just like a hush goes over the crowd. Everybody's fucking quiet, like, wow, this is the coolest shit ever. So we're watching this, and then as they get over, like, right in front view of us, kind of right in the middle of the sky, all of a sudden, the middle light drops, and halfway down it drops, the light goes out. The other 2 lights move around this erratic pattern and then take off immediately.
Okay.
I'm like, what the fuck was that, right? So we're all questioning, like, what did we just see? We have no idea. And then all of a sudden, these 3 dudes come out of this back path thing from another section. They come out, and they're like, did you guys see those 3 fucking lights? So we're having this huge discussion these weird lights that we just saw. And then immediately after, this was within less than 10 minutes, there were 4 fucking small man planes and 5 helicopters all circling all around that area that these 3 lights were just at. And there was no mention of it in the news until about 3 weeks later, when it was a mention on I can't remember what newspaper it was. I think it might have been the Toronto Sun, had made reference to it, talking about how there was this big hoopla of these strange lights down in the sky over what would have been almost directly over Toronto. But those were the lights that we saw. So that was my introduction. That was my first thing that we saw of lights that could not be explained by man-made vehicles. The motions, none of it made sense. And there's too many eyewitnesses. We all saw what we saw.
And
we weren't doing drugs at the time.
No one checked with the military to see if it was a military exercise of some kind?
Well, you gotta remember, this is like the fucking late 80s, early 90s.
Sure.
You know, like...
when they were already developing hover technology, we know that.
Yeah, that's great and fine and dandy, but again, think about the erratic patterns of light and then the fact that they left the atmosphere.
According to the eyes of a drunken teenager.
Again, not drunk. This was within the first hour of us getting there. So I was still on. I was only like second beer at that point. I was a pretty hardcore fucking drinker, so we weren't drunk. We didn't get drunk until much later on. It's like literally about 3 hours fucking later, so we really started getting drunk. But you have a group of like fucking 30 plus people
who probably saw
3 random strangers. We all saw the exact same thing,
which could have been any number of military tests, or I'm sure you saw it right around Toronto, where you have 2 very busy airports.
Does not make sense, because again, if this was if it was anything else, it wouldn't have left the atmosphere. It would have gone in a more direct direction towards an air base or towards something. There is no air base, government air base, over Toronto. They don't have an air base there.
I'm not saying
a giant military base anywhere in that vicinity
That you know of.
that we know of. Again, we're talking